didn't correct the problem. We made a black Christmas.
Yeah.
Kwanzaa. They did not solve the problem. It's in the deep psychology of people of African descent who raised and nourished on the milk of a white supremacy. All right, so let's understand that. And I remember we had the same debate with the Black Caucus down in Washington. If you got to tell somebody to work with people who like you, there's a problem. And that problem is not solved by you coming up with a slogan. That problem is solved when you look at what's causing the depth of the problem in your soul. And this is what the Qur'an is. We say we're Muslim. We must go to the Qur'an. And the Qur'anic Sunnah of Muhammad for the solution. That's why I want to get you tonight here and show us.
Would you say 1783?
What does it say?
Yes, when we
No, 84 then.
Say everyone acts right. 84.
That's the 84. Everyone acts according to their own disposition. And when you study and that's in English. The word in Arabic there is shakilati. Shakilati means those tendencies that have been genetically a part of your subconscious behavior. And until you understand that, you're not going to change. That's why you find so many Muslims, we have so many issues because we refuse to use the language of the Quran to correct our problem. All right? And that's why you see us, another generation caught up in what? The same, what I call psychology of containment. Color conscious language does not benefit us. It only locks us up because, for real, we are following what they put on us. They did not deny our color. They denied our humanity. And if you want to compete in the world, you must have human language. And then you can address the whole world and say, look, you all were quiet when my humanity was being stripped from me. Not my color, but my humanity. I come back not to hold up my color as a flag. All right? I come now to establish my humanity and its excellence as a human being. That's a much more powerful and universal position than to say, well, you know, we want black people. Well, who are black people? And what does black mean in religious language, in our political language? All right? Let me tell you a little something. You're going to Holland. I was raised in Holland in the 50s and the 60s. Check this out. This will help me grow. My family name is Black. Before I became Muslim, got my ex, mother went down Daisy Black. I went to school with African Americans initially who thought it was funny. You know, back in the day, they took attendance. How they took attendance? Last name first, right? And these same African Americans were laughing. And I'm the oldest of 11. So I got younger brothers and sisters, I mean, they got to do the same thing I'm doing. So I made a point to know I was the avid student of African American history, black history, Negro history, and I made friends with the brother who had the bookstore on 125th and Lenox, now called Mount Spa. And I read books like J.E. Rogers, Africa's Gift to America. I read books by Gerald Massey, The Beginnings of Civilization. I read these things back in like the early 60s. I was still being black. I was the black man. All right? But knowledge, I mean, I could, you know, that's why I mentioned y'all last week, a book called The Story of Civilization. I bet you looked that book up by Eric Van Loon. I read books, I mean, the stuff that some of these so-called black nationalists haven't read today. But that's because I had to buffer my brothers and sisters from the onslaught when they got in the school. The same blacks, African American, Negro, colored people will make fun of the word black. All right? Oh, you black. You know, black. And my name was Harmon, brother. Harmon X. So I learned, nobody can come tell me about the history of African people or Asian people or black people on this earth. All right? And I used to have arguments with Dr. Sir, what's his name? He passed. I mean, Lord forgive me, sir. Yes, I used to have arguments with them. Because my thing is, those who know me know that I'll run with anybody. When it comes to, you take a position, I think I'm different. My position is different. I was not afraid to go and, we would go down to CUNY, City College, New York. And one thing we learned from Malcolm: do your homework, be thoroughly prepared, be overly prepared. All right, and have a voluminous amount of information that maybe you only use this much, but people hear you talk, but know there's a lot more behind what you're saying than what you said. But Shakir can tell you, when I came to Philadelphia, I didn't bring no furniture. But what did I bring, Shakir?
And your books.
That's right. I got. My house was a moving library, but my books were in these crates, right? And when where's your furniture, brother? Ain't no furniture. I mean, I got this book. I could go out and buy a bed. I bought a mattress. Shakir tell you, he was with me. He was one of the few people that was willing to stand with me. I bought mattresses, put on the floor until we can buy the frame. But my books in my living room, wall-to-wall books.
Milk crates.
Milk crates. All of them has a designated subject matter. All right? But we came to battle our psychology. All right? And show the history. All right? That's why some of the stuff that comes out, I'm saying, well, it's about time. Everything with the systems, with the calculators. I mean, it's about time. All right? Because I'm telling you, that as a public school teacher in Philadelphia, we are so far behind in self-concepts. It's pathetic. And even if they've had African American studies in the public school system for years. I used to have arguments with a Dr. Robinson, with my neighbor, who was one of his like main disciples. He was big on black. And I said, where is that going? Because these same kids who you talk black in the 60s and the 70s, they started into, I'm going to think the 80s. Their parents did not pass, whatever that knowledge body was, did not free their children. Now, the parents of those parents, the children of those parents today, still have as much self-hatred, even if they put on Muslim garb, men and women. Still straighten their hair, they bleach their skin. I mean, they have very little understanding of how the culture of a people evolved. Even us, we have problems with it. I told you, I said, look, the four birds, culture is not one of them. I explained it to everybody. I said, culture is the result of the religion, the education, economics, and the politics coming together, and then you give birth to a culture. You know, I told brother about kidding. I said, if you did it this way, you wouldn't have to be worried about getting money to do a culture program, because you have the economics in place first. My point to people is that growing up in New York with the nationalists and having these discussions, I mean, we used to have like regular discussions on history of man on this earth and how the Chinese were originally people with dark skin, the Islanders Pacific. I mean, and there are books that back this up. And so my point though is that here we are in 2016, almost 2017. And some of us are still caught up in this. With having the Qur'an and the Qur'anic based on the Prophet in our midst now, in its proper interpretation for over 40 years. That shows how deep the rabbit hole of our the privately goes. It goes very deep. Very deep. For example, if you look at that one ayat, I mentioned two ayats, but look at the one I just mentioned. If you say the word there, shakility. 1784. All right? In that, you can hear it. You can hear it. The word what? What word do you hear in English? Shackle. Each one is according to what he's shackled with. And if you don't go back and study, well, then what are we as a group, as an ethnic group, shackled with? You can go back and study not only just slavery, but how the slave was made. How do you make a slave? What are the steps necessary that you have people, I always tell my brothers and sisters who come, in New York you got a lot of ethnic groups. And I say something on Facebook remind me. He said, we all was on the same boat. We left Africa as Africans. Some got off in Jamaica, some got in Trinidad, some got off in Bahamas, some got off in Cuba, some made it to America. When did we stop being African and became Cubans, Trinidadians, and none of them want to be black. They know that the only out of the group, the only ones who are identified as the color are the ones here in America. Next time you go into a Dominican store, the brother look darker than you.
Yeah.
No, brother, I'm from the Dominican Republic. A little island. He'd rather be from an island than to be a part of this global diaspora that happened for over almost 40 years. Go look. My mother went down to Brazil. My mother was really a world-class traveler, and that's what we got from the family. She says she went to Baha'i. I mean, you don't know about Baha'i. Baha'i is the biggest African city outside of Africa. It has like 15 million people. Baha'i, Brazil. Look it up. And she was down there for a social, at a group called Black Social Worker. They went down there for a big conference in Baha'i, Brazil. So I said all to say that what we're doing here is we're looking at how did Imam Muhammad, that's what brings us what we're going to do tonight, inshallah. Time we have a look. It's 7:15, right? Everybody got 7:20? Everybody got the same? Okay. We want to look at language. If everybody on the ship was one time African, what changed them into these different ethnic groups? Go back to the word Shakil. Right? Some people say, well, no, I'm Hispanic. But then I'm an Englishman then. If you're going based on your language, you speak Spanish because your former slave master spoke Spanish. I'm an Englishman. Why? My former slave master spoke what? English. So I'm shackled with the English language. You shackled with the Spanish language. Right? All right. You got another brother says, well, let's go to Africa for a minute. Shakility, language environment. How does a person in Nigeria is distinguished from a person in Ghana, or what the two countries go together? Yeah. They look the same. Language dialects, which help form what? Tribes. Tribalism based on language. So here we are, and you go all over. Well, what makes, I was telling the brother from Southeast Asia, India, Pakistan. Remember back we was upstairs a few years ago, everybody do the Islamic revivalists, and when you had to do one. Remember, actually some of you do Dr. Mohammed Iqbal. Somebody else did Sheikh Uthman Ben Foley of Nigeria. Remember he did those assignments? And I pointed out then is that the people who followed Dr. Mohammed Iqbal, I tell you a good book to read was what? The Reconstruction, the Revival, the Reconstruction of religious thought in Islam. And I pointed out how the person is, he is a Pakistani. What did he say? What does that word mean? What it says? We are beautiful people. We are the best people. All right? Think about it now. Here, they were given a psychology that freed them from years of domination by the British and by the Hindus. Mm-hmm. So in a word that identifies them, what happened? It gave them a sense of what? Pride. Yeah. A sense of being in the world. Mm-hmm. Think about it. And right now they tell you, I'm Pakistani. All right? I'm not Hindu. All right? And I ask you to study things because I want you to understand how language helps a person grow in self-esteem, how it helps correct the deep psychological problems we have. Because go back to our basic word. Words do what? Make people.
But we don't have that in our community. You know, when we talk about black, how do we arrive? What's the solution to saying, okay, don't use that terminology by black. So then what terminology are we going to, because this is large. This is going nationwide. By local. And so if we start saying that, and I really want you on this radio program because I'm sure that you would be able to nationally give that language, because you hearing, oh, buy black, buy black,
I'm saying,
and
but
they're soaking the community.
It's stoked, but that's local. Now, once, I'm not local. That's temporary, because once Christmas is over, they'll say that. They go back to buying.
They go back out of their neighborhood.
Buying local. Buying local does several things. If you buy local, that means you're buying in the neighborhood.